In a world of companies that need the best means of communicating internally or to train partners, there have been a lot of tools employed to this end, like email, FTP, and in some cases B2B gateways, that focus on the interchange of electronic documents like EDI, web services, etc., that have been helping systems to integrate information. Also, there have been new services of cloud computing like Dropbox, Amazon, Azure, Google Drive, and all of this integration represents a headache for the small and medium enterprises that need to develop and integrate with a different protocol each time they need to make a new connection. There is where ShakeNgo is born. It is a platform as a service that manages the obtainment of the information on one side and the delivery of that information on the other. But this is not only about moving files. ShakeNgo can also process the files or information that it manages. We call it File Processing as a Service, and it is based on the concept of ETL, Extract, Transfers, and Load, and MFT, Managed File Transfers. What is ShakeNgo?
To explain the concept a bit, let's use a similar experience in a different context. In a bar, there are several bottles. Each of them represents one source in the context of the application. The bartender that grabs the bottles he needs to mix the drinks he's ordered will be a worker, the core of the application. The glasses, cups, and mugs he has are his shakers, where he mixes, powers, and blends the different liquors. And finally, there are the customers that will receive the finished product. They represent the targets. They are the ones that will receive the information from sources after it is processed by shakers.
ShakeNgo have three different components. Sources, like we've established, they are the origin of our process. They can represent a web service, a folder in a Dropbox, a query from a database, or anything that will finally provide us with information needed for the process. It's important to note that there can be as many sources as we need.
Shakers are the processing blocks of the machinery. For example, the Google Translate service, a video processing service, and maybe a muxer to add the text from the translation service to the video as subtitles. Also, the important note is that these shakers can be external services, like the examples I just gave, or a segment of code written in the application for a simple transformation, like a few lines of code to transform the result from a query into an HTML table.
Targets, or where you need to send information, are pretty self-explanatory. They are the final destination of our processed files or information. May it be an email to our support area with our files attached, or a Google Drive or a folder, or even the consumption of a web service, or a file transferred to a client FTP server. There is also the possibility of using many targets at once so that our information is used to feed two different applications.
The platform and the community. The idea is not for ShakeNgo to develop all imaginable components. We want to open this to developers, to let them create components for a platform that can be sold or used freely by other members of the community. If a developer has an idea for a component or needs one that is not yet available, he can code his own. And then, if the component is useful to other users, he can publish it to the marketplace, where other users with the same necessity can add it to their library.
We have divided the business model in two branches. For our customers, we are envisioning a tier-based system where as the customers can use the platform up to certain limits for free, and then based on usage metrics, they will expand those limits as the needs of their business demands it. They can also buy access to community-contributed components, which we will explain now.
For developers, emulating the model of app stores, developers can publish free or paid components that the community can use in their own workflows. For each sale of a premium component, they would get a 70% of the profit for the sale or continued use. The goal is to create a development ecosystem where everybody can add useful components and getting revenue for the work. It would be a win-win situation for everyone involved.